The most dangerous person you'll ever meet won't feel dangerous at all. They'll feel like the best thing that's happened to you in years. Attentive, charming, perfectly tuned to exactly what you need. And that's not a coincidence. That's strategy. Psychopaths don't look unhinged. They look safe. Like your closest friend, your most supportive colleague, the partner who finally gets you. And by the time something feels off, they've already taken something. Your trust, your money, your reputation, sometimes years of your life. The worst part, your gut knew. You felt it early. You just didn't have the language for what you were seeing. Today you get that language, 7 signs. And once you see them, you won't miss them again. Sign number 1, the charm that feels like it was built for you. The first thing you notice is how good they make you feel, not in a vague, pleasant way. In a specific, tailored, this person really understands me way. They remember what you said 3 weeks ago. They mirror your sense of humor, your values, your communication style. They seem to arrive in your life already knowing the version of you that you want to be seen as. It feels like a green flag. It feels like, finally. Here's what's actually happening. Dr. Robert Hare, the psychologist behind the psychopathic assessment used by the FBI, calls this weaponized charm. It's not charisma, it's a calibration. They're studying you, mapping what you respond to, and feeding it back to you in real time. The warmth isn't felt, it's deployed. The tell? Watch what happens when they don't need anything from you. The charm doesn't fade gradually, it switches off, like a light. Sign number 2, the smile that goes nowhere. A genuine smile is a full-face event. The eyes crinkle, the cheeks lift, something lights up. Psychopaths study this and replicate it, but they can't quite get it right. What you get instead is a smile that looks correct, but registers as wrong. Your brain can't name it. You just feel slightly uneasy and immediately second-guess yourself for feeling that way. That unease is information. Psychologists describe it as the uncanny valley of emotion, the slight, unsettling gap between a feeling being performed and a feeling being felt. Their emotional range is mimicry, not experience. And mimicry always leaves cracks. Your gut was reading those cracks. You just didn't trust it. Sign number 3, the tragedy they deploy at exactly the right moment. At some point, the mask slips, but in a controlled way. The larger-than-life, confident person suddenly becomes vulnerable. A brutal childhood, a string of betrayals, an ex who destroyed them, people who were jealous of how exceptional they were, and you feel yourself soften. That's the design. Oxford research on psychopathic behavior shows psychopaths are highly skilled at constructing emotionally compelling narratives that bypass your critical thinking. The story doesn't need to be true. It needs to be timed perfectly, dropped right when your defenses are lowest, or right when they need something from you. Listen for the pattern. They were exceptional. Others were jealous. They were betrayed despite their goodness, and now they need your loyalty, your help, your protection. If you find yourself feeling guilty for doubting someone you barely know, the sob story is doing its job. Sign number 4, they live off you without you noticing. This one builds slowly. It starts with small things. A favor here, a connection there, borrowing something they don't return. Nothing that would justify calling it out. Then you notice the people around you, the ones who might recognize what's happening, have quietly disappeared from your life. Not dramatically, just gradually made less welcome. Psychopaths approach relationships as resource acquisition, transactional. University of British Columbia research found they identify what you have: money, housing, status, emotional stability, social access, and build the relationship specifically to extract it. What they appear to give always comes with hidden leverage. This isn't someone going through a rough patch. It's a pattern that has followed them their entire life. You just happen to have what they needed right now. Before we get to sign number 5, it should be obvious. The stronger your mind, the easier these signs are to spot. The Neuroenergizer is a mind-strengthening tool based on neuroscience. There's a link in the description. Now sign number 5, they're never wrong. You're always the problem. When something goes wrong, and eventually something will, watch what happens. There's no genuine remorse, no real accountability. Instead, there is a very smooth pivot. Suddenly the conversation has shifted. You're the one who overreacted. You're the one who misunderstood. You're the one with trust issues. They might perform an apology, but only when it benefits them. Only when walking it back costs less than the alternative. The distinction matters. Most people feel bad when they hurt someone. Psychopaths feel inconvenienced. Remorse is a tool they use when it's useful, not a response they have because they feel something. If you leave every conflict feeling like you caused it, that's not a coincidence. Sign number 6. They lie when there's no reason to. Most people lie to avoid consequences. Psychopaths lie to stay sharp. They lie about small things, things so inconsequential that catching them doesn't even feel worth mentioning. That's the point. Small lies are low-stakes rehearsals. They're also a way to maintain control, because if you're not sure what's real, you become easier to manage. The telltale sign isn't the lie itself. It's the excessive, unnecessary detail that comes with it. When someone fabricates a story, they often overload it with specifics to make it feel credible. Real memories are vague at the edges. Constructed ones come pre-packaged. If you regularly find yourself thinking, why would they lie about something that small? That's your answer. Control is the point, not the outcome. Sign number 7. Intensity that has no history. The relationship moves fast, faster than it should. There's an intimacy that feels earned even though you haven't had time to earn it. They treat you like they've been waiting for someone exactly like you. It feels like a green flag. It feels like chemistry. What it actually is, transactional efficiency. People are tools to be used, and they've learned that manufactured intensity fast-tracks access. The deeper the connection feels early, the harder it is to question what's happening when things start to shift. Look at the pattern of relationships behind them. Former best friends they no longer speak to, ex-partners described as crazy, colleagues who mysteriously turned on them. Every story has a villain, and it's never them. Connections that were once everything get discarded without hesitation the moment they stop being useful. You're not a person to them. You're a position in a rotation. So, what do you do with this? The most important thing first, direct confrontation doesn't work. Appealing to their empathy doesn't work. Setting a boundary with them isn't a limit. It's a challenge. Heart-to-heart conversations don't produce reflection. They produce a map of your vulnerabilities. What works is what psychologists call the gray rock method. You become uninteresting, flat, unresponsive. You stop giving them the emotional reaction, positive or negative, that they're actually there to collect. Psychopaths require engagement to stay interested. Give them nothing, and you become an unsatisfying target they'll eventually abandon. Document everything. Quietly rebuild the connections they work to isolate you from, and give them less and less of what they came for. But here's the thing that matters most, and it's where this all comes back to your gut. Almost everyone who's been through this says the same thing in hindsight. I knew something was off from the beginning. Something in the smile. Something in how perfectly they seemed to understand me. Something in the sob story that landed at just the right moment. You weren't paranoid. You weren't naive. You were reading something real. You just didn't have the framework to trust what you were seeing. Now you do. So, the next time someone feels too good to be true too fast, don't override that instinct. Slow down. Watch for the signs. And remember, the most dangerous person in the room isn't the one who looks dangerous. They're the one who makes you feel the safest. If this helped you see something you couldn't name before, subscribe. We publish fresh content weekly to help you be a more effective you. And keep the momentum going. Watch 5 Questions Liars Always Ask. It's on the screen. Check out the Neuroenergizer, a mind-strengthening tool based on neuroscience. There's a link in the description. Now that you know what to look for, next time trust your gut.